a good friend has been sharing these stories about a certain coworker that they work with, and this coworker has this executive's paralysis, and by that I mean that they are unable to make certain decisions. So when it's time to ship on a product or send something out, even as something as rudimentary as sending out an email that could be high stakes, could be low stakes, whatever it is, they're unable to pull the trigger and ship on that final thing. And I've been thinking a lot about it, and I think it's easy to fall into. It'd be very easy for most people to fall into that bucket because you just kind of get paralyzed by thinking about the what ifs and what could happen after this decision. You start to hesitate on whether let me just double check to make sure I got everything right. And so you end up doing these triple, quadruple checks that in the moment could feel like it's worth it because you want to make sure that you did everything 100% right. But you end up sacrificing speed and moving on to other high priority tasks just to triple check something, right? And so really, I think Seth Godin wrote about this once, something about how you can triple check your work, but ultimately it's sort of just hiding behind this fear of shipping, and it's very easy to disguise it as, I'm just being cautious, or I'm just doing my due diligence. And really what you're doing is you're preventing yourself from shipping and moving on to the next thing. And I think that this is something that I have struggled with in the past, but it's not something I've struggled with recently. And I think the end of that struggle kind of coincided with a phrase or a framework that I use to think about shipping on decisions. And I call it disappointed, never surprised. What I mean by disappointed, never surprised is that it is my job to communicate exactly what is going on in any given situation, whether it's at work or at home. And the recipient of my communication, it's okay if they're disappointed. I can handle that. But they should never be surprised about how I'm feeling or the outcome of a particular set of decisions. So on the work front, if I feel like I'm gonna miss a deadline on something for work, whether it's gotta turn around modules for a program, I gotta turn around a set of emails, I have to make XYZ decision. It's okay if the person is disappointed that I feel like I'm gonna miss a deadline, and I let them know. I feel like the quality bar is not gonna be high enough given the resources that I had in the moment in time. And it's okay if they are disappointed that I won't be able to deliver. However, they should never be surprised about what they get, right? They should not be surprised if I tell them 3 weeks out, hey, I don't have enough time on this project. If I tell them when the project starts. Then if the project comes in at a lower quality bar in order to make that deadline, or I have to I need an extra week in order to meet the quality bar, right? They can be disappointed about it, but they should never be surprised because I let them know very, very early on. And that goes for home life as well. Home life is never going to be perfect. There's going to be certain things where you sometimes let someone down. For example, you made plans with your parents, and then you knew this thing was going to come up and you just ran out of time. I'd rather them be disappointed that I had to cancel early than be surprised and cancel late. Or basically, I'm just talking about setting expectations, doing a very good job of setting proper expectations so that people know exactly what to expect from you. And I think that's the way to avoid this executive paralysis. Anytime that you're fearful of the ramifications of your decisions, you're fearful of what people might think, just do a really good job of setting expectations and you're gonna disappoint some people. If you're not disappointing people, then you're not putting yourself as a priority. So it's better to disappoint people, but just don't leave them surprised. I think that's the answer to it.